What's going on, guys? Hey, Grouch here, and I wanted to start off by giving a big thank you to everyone who liked and supported my last video. The video did way better than I could have hoped, getting over 5,000 likes within just the first week. After going through the comments left by you guys, it seems as though a number of you really wanted me to do the same type of video on Death Note, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So with that being said, here are 10 hidden references to the Death Note series. Hope you guys enjoy. Number 10. Baka to test to Shonganju. Really hope I said that right. At the very beginning of episode 7, there is a scene where one of the series' main characters, Yuchi, awakens in his room to find a girl named Shoko sitting on his bed. The two have been longtime childhood friends, however Shoko really loves Yuchi and is pretty much obsessed with him. Long story short, he wasn't too happy at the fact she just let herself in and proceeds to call the cops. Midway through his call, however, Shoko confronts him about a dirty magazine she found while snooping through his room. And the way it is hidden is very similar to how Light Yagami hid his Death Note inside of his home, which I guess only further proves how infatuated Shoko really is.
Yuji, what is this?
Well, I don't know. I've never seen that book before.
Really? Because it was hidden under a false bottom in the third drawer of your desk with a schoolbook cover disguising it.
Hello? Did you have an emergency? Hello?
Number 9. Good Luck Girl. Now, anyone who's ever watched through both Death Note and Good Luck Girl should have no problem spotting this reference, as it is basically a recreation of various scenes with only minor changes. In episode 12, there is a short scene of L's death, as well as of the scene when L fights Light at the hotel whilst being chained together. The only difference really is the roles of L and Light are instead played by main characters Ichiko and Momiji, while the task force is made up of other characters. It's overall a pretty cool reference in my opinion, and I love how similar the animations look to that of the actual Death Note anime. The entire reference is actually pretty long, standing at around a minute in length, so for the sake of this video, I had to cut it short. However, you can go and watch the full clip in its entirety by searching it up on YouTube. Number 8. Full Metal Panic: The Second Raid. Now, the reference in this one is a small cameo snuck in by the series animators, so it's very possible you could have missed it even if you watched through the entire episode. It can be found in episode 6 after one of the series' main protagonists, Sosuke, visits a salon to get a haircut. Now, Sosuke, while young, had a pretty traumatic childhood, having grown up in a war-infested area. It is because of this that he has a difficult time accustoming to normal society, and often leads him to become paranoid even when partaking in the simplest of everyday tasks. Well, as you could have guessed, going to get a haircut was no exception, as throughout the entire process he is shown getting pretty fidgety and having to constantly remind himself that he isn't in any danger. He does a pretty good job at first managing to keep his cool until the stylist starts to take out his scissors, causing Sosuke to end up pulling out his gun and causing a scene. Well, this commotion actually seemed to attract some attention from outside the salon, which is actually where the reference takes place. The scene is literally only about 3 seconds long, but if you pause and look closely and just study the individuals, you'll be able to recognize a number of familiar characters. Just take a look. Number 7. Mawaru Penguin Drum. Now, like most animes on this list, I've never actually gone around to watching this one. However, with just the single episode I did watch, I'd have to say it's definitely an attention grabber. Then again, that's probably because I started watching from episode 6, which is where the hidden reference can be found. So yeah, you can guess I had no idea what the heck was even going on. Anyways, much like the last anime mentioned, the reference in this one only appears for a few seconds and can be easy to miss if you're not super observant. During one flashback to Ringo's childhood, we see her going through her deceased older sister's room and stumbling upon her diary. She quickly reads it through and after finishing sets it down and gets lost in her thoughts. Well, right behind the diary you can spot another book sticking out with a title that appears to spell Death Note. Although it is just so conveniently placed behind the diary, it is unfortunately blocked off. It is also for some reason an odd shade of brownish yellow. Number 6. Keroro Gunso. Now in this anime, the reference to Death Note appears at the very end of episode 185 and is much like the number 9 spot as it is meant to parody the series. Around halfway through the episode, a miniature frog thing known as Tamama finds a notebook that allows him to force people into mimicking his actions, as well as the ability to get them to say whatever he wants. Near the end of the episode, there is also a scene that mimics the final episode of the Death Note anime. And I just wanted to quickly mention, despite what I said earlier, this is easily the most bizarre series on this list.
僕は神になるんです。
結構面白かったぜ。
Number 5. Smosh, The Real Death Note. There is a video here on YouTube titled The Real Death Note, which was created by the YouTube channel known as Smosh, and is meant to be a parody to the Death Note series. Now there's not really much to say other than that the video is pretty hilarious and is currently standing at over 35 million views. However, something about it that I did want to quickly point out involves the second notebook which is introduced in this video, the Life Note. The Life Note is basically what you'd expect it to be, the opposite of Death Note, and has the power to resurrect anyone who was killed by writing their name down. Now while this notebook does not exist within either the manga or the anime, something a lot of fans don't know is that there was originally plans to introduce something with a similar ability. It is what's known as the Death Eraser and has the power to bring back those killed by the Death Note. However, this was only ever shown during the series' pilot chapter. Currently, it's not known if this Life Note is meant to be a reference to the Eraser or if it was all just coincidence.
You have to stop this, man. You can't play God anymore. Write the name of a person who is dead and they will be brought back to life?
Number 4. Music. I didn't know how to properly label this one. Now, while there has yet to be anyone with an enormous fan base such as Beyonce or Drake to create a song referencing Death Note, there are actually a few songs out there which drew inspiration from the series. Something I quickly wanted to mention, however, is that the anime covers for both opening and outros are going to be excluded as there are many talented individuals who have made those, and listing them all would take a very long time. The first song I'm going to mention is by a YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers known as NateWantsToBattle and his parody song Blank Page. His parody song, over 2 million views on YouTube, pokes fun at Taylor Swift's song Blank Space, and is by no means a mistake as the song is extremely catchy with the original lyrics honestly on point. The second video I quickly wanted to mention is a song known as Watch Out You're Being Watched by Macwhirter. Rachel, if you're watching this, I'm sorry I butchered your name. Now, she's definitely not as well known as Nathan, but out of all the Death Note related songs that I've heard, this one personally stood out to me. Unfortunately, due to copyright, I won't actually play these songs in this video, but I did list these two as well as the others that I could find down in the description. So if any of you guys did want to go check them out, now you can. Number 3. Watamote. Now this reference some of you may already know as I have actually mentioned it in one of my earliest videos. And being pretty much the only anime on this list that I've actually watched prior to making it, you would think I would have caught this hidden reference. Well, not quite. The reference can be found in the first episode as series main protagonist Tomoko begins scrolling through websites in order to learn the secrets of making herself appeal to boys. For those who aren't familiar with the series, she's kind of a socially awkward mess. Anyways, as she's doing this, an unusual montage of camera angles begin to take place which are meant to mimic the moment of the infamous potato chip scene. Yeah, you'd think I would have caught that. Number 2. They are my noble masters. Now the reference in this anime is the same as the last, as it is meant to parody the same scene where Light is writing names with all the weird angles happening. It can be seen at the very start of episode 6, which begins with the view of Yumi's home, who is frantically writhing and eating a bag of potato chips, all while laughing in a very disturbing manner. Fortunately though, she isn't out trying to become the god of the new world, but is instead writing a story inside a notebook, which we later see is titled Yume Book, which Rem eventually gets sucked into, and well, that's basically where the episode starts off. At least for the Death Note reference, as that's all there really is to it. So in order to avoid spoiling the episode for anyone who still may want to watch it, I'll just leave it at that. Number 1. The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. That's right, the final reference we're going to mention in this video does actually appear within The Simpsons. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't appear within the animated show, but it does appear within one of the series' annual Treehouse of Horror comic books, titled Murder He Wrote, which is entirely based off the Death Note series. Without spoiling too much of the story, the comic begins with Bart showing Milhouse a notebook that he just found. It isn't soon after though that he slowly begins to learn of the notebook's powers and meets the Shinigami attached to it, which in this instance is Krusty the Clown. Originally, he had no intention of writing any names himself. However, something happens that forces him to kill, and it's not long after that the police are on his tail. I also wanted to mention that there are actually some pretty funny nods towards the series hidden within the comic, including a bag of potato chips with the text "Eat it" written on the bag. I won't really say much else, as I strongly encourage you guys to go read it for yourselves, as it's really short at just around 15 pages. I don't know, I personally found it enjoyable myself, so hopefully you guys will too. To those who are curious and want to go check it out, I've left a link in the description. And there you have it guys, 10 hidden references to Death Note. I just wanted to say thank you guys again for the crazy amount of support we got on the last video. As I mentioned, it managed to get over 5,000 likes within the first week and is currently standing just under 8k likes. So if we can get over 3,000 likes on this video within the first week, I'll get a head start on the next one. Seeing as how Death Note is a popular series, I actually have a lot of information that didn't quite make it into this video. So if you guys would be interested in seeing a part 2, I can totally make that happen. If you guys made it to the end of this video, you can let me know by commenting the letter L down below. And if you'd like me to do this type of video on a specific anime series, be sure to leave me your suggestions down there as well. Thank you guys for 45,000 subscribers, and with that being said, I will thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.